welcome to another Saturday night of wine tasting with me, Gina, from Rate My Pear. Let's drink! Let us start with Chardonnay. Chardonnay! We're gonna start classy. We're gonna go to Corton Grand Cru Chardonnay from Philippe and Arnuad Dubreuil. A 3-generation family-ran winery in Beaune of Burgundy, France. They have multiple parcels of red and white throughout Beaune. They have Grand Cru vines in Corton. Corton is like a little bit over 90 hectares of size. Only 5 hectares of that are white. The rest is red. Very rare to find white wine coming specifically out of Corton. This is from the Lolières vineyard. 2020 vintage. Sure, we're a little young. That's okay. We'll still drink you. Hand-picked, fermented in vats, aged for between 8 to 12 months in French oak, 25% of that being new. Let's check it out. So the color is a pretty golden yellow. It's clean and it's pristine. There might be like a touch of greenish glints in there. A nice lovely yellow. I'm getting citrus, I'm getting stone fruit. I'm getting a shocking amount of salinity and minerality. And then there's definitely like a toastiness, toasted oak, nuttiness, little Brazil and hazelnuts, and baking spices. Maybe a touch of caramel. Do we taste it? Happy Saturday night, my lovelies. If you're watching this, it means you survived. Ain't shabby. This is a savory white for sure. You have baking spices, you have a little vanilla on there, a little nut. It's like the nut skin, the Brazil nut skin, the hazelnut skin. Some ripe stone fruits, maybe a little ripe white peach, a touch of apricot, maybe even just a smidge of plantain in the back. A little ripe banana, ripe plantain. But lots of salinity and lots of minerality. That's definitely what's flying high in this glass. Places of stone fruit on some rough marble. And the oak definitely helps give presence. And there is just like a little back end of caramel. Not sweet. I have paired this with oysters Rockefeller. So Cushy oysters with Spanish bechamel, herb compound, butter, and shallot breadcrumb, just lightly thrown into the oven or under the broiler. Yeah, that was absolutely fucking perfect. This worked in a pinch for somebody who wanted a white wine with her beef bavette and broccoli bechamel and hen in the woods and mushrooms and marble potatoes and bordelaise sauce broken with bone marrow. Sure, if you can't drink red, you can go with a robust oaked Burgundy white. Okay, let's move on. Let's move into Walla Valley, home state of Washington. This is Hoquetus, or Hoquetus. It rhymes with lettuce. I really hate that comparison. Small winery started by Robert Gomez, making small quantities of fun wine. We've tasted one of his wines previously. This is 2023 La Serenique. This is the initials R.B.B. Inside of it, Merlot, Cabernet Franc, and a skosh of Syrah. Each grape coming from a different vineyard within Walla Valley. I just don't want to talk anymore. So let's taste it. Oh, let's look at it. It's red wine. It's semi-translucent. It is like a nice dark burgundy red, purple hints, clear edge. It's slightly cloudy. There's like a touch of cloudiness in there. Nothing major, no major sediment. If I remember correctly, at the bottom of this bottle, there might be some long sediment strands, but nothing that's gonna get massively in the way of your drinking. It's aromatic. It's bright and juicy, but also dark and brambly. And there is a fun playfulness on the nose, kind of like macerating berries, cranberries, blueberries, but very fresh, very tart, very juicy. Rose, definitely rose, lots of rose, small rosebuds, small wild rosebuds. Blackberry, maybe some rhubarb, there's like a tartness on there. And then a slight earthiness, just like a wet earth, a tilled wet earth. A little black licorice too. Anise. Okay. Chin chin. Fun and playful, but with like a serious, like a serious shadow. So the nose definitely translates onto the palate. You have very playful, kind of fermenting raspberries. I can definitely get a little bit more of that rhubarb too. The rose translates. Maybe a little violet also. A little touch of licorice. Very light on the palate. High acidity. Tannins are minimal. They hide within the juice. They aren't aggressive. Upon second sniff, like a little bit of a menthol comes out. Some torn leaves, some torn wild mint. This is a pretty fun play on a classic right bank Bordeaux. Best initials R.B.B. Right bank Bordeaux. Walla Walla style. Walla Walla youth style. So I paired this with a mid-course this week. Quail and crepinette. So Kitchen took a quail, took the breast off of it, took the thigh and leg off of it, pressed the breast against the deboned thigh with a little truffle mousse inside between them two, gluing the two pieces together, wrapping it in caul fat, and then roasting it. That was served on Robuchon style potatoes, aka potatoes with more butter than potato, and then a sauce Perigordine with Perigord truffles. Beautiful dish, beautiful wine. Classic dish, fun twist on a classic wine. It smells like Walla Walla. They're very floral, very berry, very herby, lots of acid. Over in Walla Walla, you can also find Robert, I think he's still working in this place, it's at the Drayman House and at Passatempo Taverna. Go and bother him, he also psalms. So try to get him to sell you his wines, or other wines. We're gonna end on champagne. How could I not end on champagne? Champagne Albert Levasseur. We have tasted one of his champagnes in the past, the Rue du Sorbier. This is the Rue du Sorbier. So that is the street on which their wine estate is located. This is also Brut Nature style. This is his Blanc de Blanc. This is his Chardonnay, his Blanc de Terroir, extra Brut. I threw in a stopper. Let's see if there's anything left in here. This is three-generation family-ran winery. Albert started in the 40s. Grandson David is now running things. Marne Valley. They've got about 4 hectares of vines, 16 different parcels. What you are missing is this bottle. When the cork is in it, it is wrapped up with the beautiful twine instead of the wire cage. Looks really pretty. It's kind of a bitch to present to guests unless you have your special champagne clippers. Be cautious when you do that. I still have bubbles in there, so exciting. So like I said, this is 100% Chardonnay coming from their estate. 2 different vines, or rows of vines, or plots of vines. This is base vintage of 2018. There is blending. We are using inox tank for fermentation. There is mallow, so no oak. Color, light golden yellow, clean and pristine. Small bubbles. It smells bright brioche, lemon custard, and saline mineral driven. Very bright though. Maybe even like an orange marmalade. I like the lemon custard, orange marmalade, fresh brioche. It's not toasty in any way. Chardonnays, and this is extra brut, so it's very minimal dosage. We're like 4 grams per liter dosage. Cheers. Oh, so good. Oh my goodness. Incredible. So the nose translates onto the palate. However, there's so much more happening on the palate than what's happening on the nose. There is a much more honey denseness on the palate than I was expecting. A lot more weight on there than what I was getting from the nose. And the lemon and orange marmalade definitely translates onto the palate, but you're met with more of the brioche, the warm, fresh brioche. A little honey, like a honey drizzle on the brioche. Some salted butter, lightly grilled peaches, some flour, like flour W-E-R, not O-U-R. Yeah, little white flowers, maybe a little honeysuckle, clean and dry finish. Almost like a light saline finish too. Almost tastes like a mineral water finish. That's really cool. That is great. That is exceptional. That is unique. So I had this paired this week with our starter of hamachi crudo. So Japanese hamachi, sliced raw, served kind of sashimi style. In between the slices of the hamachi, you would find slices of fresh parts of palm flown in fresh from Puna Gardens on the Big Island of Hawaii, as well as freshly sliced cucumber. To the side, we had candied shiitake mushrooms, cilantro shoots, dashi gelée, and a tamari gastrique. Yeah, this is such a pretty bottle. I would suggest having this at a slightly warmer temperature. I would not have this like freezing cold. Very pretty. Wow. Also, something that I love about this bottle, and I just love in general with when my winemakers take the time to put the little details in. This is the cork of the champagne, and not only do we have the base vintage printed on here, 2018, and on the bottom we have the AL, but surrounding it we have some wording that loosely translates from French into English.
As each perfume, or each scent, each taste knows how to reveal in each of us an image, a sensation, a memory. David Levasseur, awakener of the senses.
Well, David, thank you for awakening my senses. Cheers to that. Senses hath been awakened. It's a beautiful, ethereal, well-crafted, and well-received wine. That's it. I'm gonna say good night. Tell your Psalms you love them. Good night.